Dear students, in the last video we learned about the structure of pollen grain. Now let's study about the structure of the female part of the flower. The female part of the flower we call it as gynoecium. The individuals of gynoecium are called pistils or carpels. The pistils or carpels are the individuals of the gynoecium. In this video, we were going to deal with the pistil and the megasporangium. What is pistil? The pistil is the unit of gynoecium. It is also known as the carpel. The structure of the carpel shows the three parts. The stigma is the receiver part of the pollen grain. It may be one lobed at 2, 3, 4, 5. Depends on the species. The shape of the stigma varies. Whereas in hibiscus, it is 5 branched, so it is called pentaphyte. From the base of the stigma, a tube-like structure runs. This is called a style, through which the pollen tube growth takes place. At the end of the styler region, it's a solan basal part is there. The solan basal part is called ovary, where the ovules are present. This is about the structure of the pistil. Pistil is the gynoecium or the female reproductive part of the flower composed of units. The units are called pistil or carpel. Each carpel has 3 parts: the stigma, the style, and the ovary. The structure of the pistil consists of the 3 parts. The upper part is called stigma, and the next part is style, and the basal part is called ovary. In the stigma, it receives the pollen grain of the same species and different species. It has the ability to recognize the pollens. And the next region is style, through which the pollen tube are both takes place. The ovary is the basal part of the pistil, where it consists of ovule. The ovule are the megasporangium, present in the ovarian cavity and enclosed by a ovary wall. The ovules are attached to the tissue called placenta. It's a fertile tissue through which the ovule get nourishment or nutrition based on the arrangement of ovule and the placenta. They are free central, axial placentation, marginal placentation, parietal, and the basal placentation. Next, moving on to the types of the pistil. The types of the pistil are of 2 types. First type is on the basis of number of carpel, how many carpels are present in the gynoecium. On that basis, the gynoecium or ovary is the following types. Like if the gynoecium consists of only 1 carpel, we call it as monocarpellary, only 1 carpel. If it is consists of 2 carpels, we call it as bicarpellary. If consists of 3 carpels are present in that ovary, we call it as a tricarpellary ovary. If more than 3 carpel are present in the gynoecium or carpel, we call it as multicarpellary. These are the types of pistil based on the number of carpels. What are carpels or pistils? They are the units of gynoecium. The next type of pistil, if the pistils are more than one, if maybe they are fused or maybe they are free. On that basis, the attachment or fusion of carpels with each other, if they are fused to each other, we call it as syncarpus. If they are not fused with each other, we call it as apocarpus. In a flower having 2 or more carpels, they have the one condition in which the carpels are free, we call it as apocarpus. Example for that is Annona, Myceli, Champaka, Samkehu, Akai. Grapes are example for apocarpus. And the syncarpus example are where the carpels are fused with each other. Example, citrus, hibiscus, tomato, brinjal. They are example for syncarpous ovary. These are the types of pistils based on the fusion of carpel. Next to the ovary, the structure of ovary. The ovary consists of the ovarian cavity called lacules, lacules of the ovary, and it is lined by a ovary wall. Later, it develops into fruit wall after fertilization. In the lacule, the placenta, fertile tissue through which the ovules get nourishment, are attached. Based on the arrangement of ovule, the placenta arrangement of ovule and the placenta, we call it as placentation. There are 5 different types of placentation. We are studied in our 11th standard, that is axial placentation, marginal placentation, parietal placentation, free central, and the basal placentation. Ovary encloses a cavity called lacule. Within the lacule, the female megasporangium or the ovule is present, and it is attaches to the nourishing tissue called placenta. The number of ovule in ovary may be 1 in wheat, paddy, mango, maybe many in papaya, watermelon, and lily. In papaya, when we cut the papaya, we see number of black seeds. Okay, these are the so many numbers of ovules present in a one ovarian cavity, in the one lacule. In watermelon also, so many ovules are present in a ovary. This is about the structure of the ovary. Next, coming to the, based on the number of lacules, the ovary is again classified into the following 4 types. If only one lacule, one ovarian cavity or cavity present in the ovary, we call it as monolacular. The example for that is P. If the 2 lacules are present in the ovary, we call it as bilacular. Example for that is Solanum, Solanaceae family members, usually the brinjal, and having the 2 lacules in their ovary. Next, and is the trilacular ovary. The Liliaceae family members having trilacules in their ovary. And the last one is multilacular ovary, where they are having more than 3 lacules, more than 3 ovarian cavities, or more than 3 lacules are called multilacular ovary. Example for that are tomato, hibiscus, etc. This is about the classification of pistil, in which the number of carpels based on the fusion and the number of lacules. Next, moving on to the structure of a megasporangium or a ovule. The ovule is the structure which develops into seed after fertilization. The megasporangium is also known as ovule. It has the following structure. It has the stalk-like structure called funicle, and it attaches to the ovarian body at the region called hilum. So the hilum is the junction between the ovule and the funicle, and the ovule having 2 protective covers called integuments, outer integument and the inner integument. In certain regions, the integument are absent to form a pore-like structure. This structure is called micropyle, through which pollen tube enters into the embryo sac. Inner to the inner integument, there are the tissue. The tissue is called nucellus. These nucellus cells are rich in reserve food materials. One of the nucellus cells become embryo sac, and the remaining nucellus cells, they nourishes the developing embryo sac. Opposite to the micropylar region, the basal region of the ovule, we call it as chalazal region or chalazal pore. Based on the arrangement or the structure of the ovule with respect to funicle, micropylar region, and the chalaza, there are 6 different types of ovule. And the typical ovule we are studying is anatropous ovule, that is inverted ovule. Okay, for this, the structure of megasporangium or ovule, It comes for 5 marks in our board exam. Very important question. Draw a neat label diagram of megasporangium or ovule. They may ask are like this. Draw a neat label diagram of anatropous ovule or inverted ovule. Or describe the structure of megasporangium or ovule or anatropous ovule. Very important question for 5 marks. Let's move on to the structure of megasporangium through the video. The structure of megasporangium or ovule. The transverse section of ovary. The transverse section or cross section of ovary shows the ovarian cavity, ovary wall, and the placenta. For this placenta, the ovules are attached. The ovules are attached to the placenta. Each ovule consists of the egg-shaped body of an ovule. This ovule is attached to the placenta through the stalk-like structure called the funicle. What is funicle? It's a stalk of the ovule. It attaches to the ovule at the region called hilum. So it is the junction between the funicle and the ovule. The ovule is covered by a two protective layer called integuments. After fertilization, these two integuments become seed coat. These two integuments absent in the region called micropylar region. This region is called micropylar region or micropyle. The micropyle helps in the entry of pollen tube. After pollination, the pollen tube enters into the ovule through this micropylar region. Opposite the micropylar region is called chalaza. It's the basal part of the ovule. It is present in between the funicle and the integuments. And inner to the integument, it consists of nucellus. These nucellus cells are rich in nutrients like starch. They have dense cytoplasm, vacuolated. They nourishes the developing embryo sac. The fertile tissue, they helps in the nourishment of developing embryo sac. The embryo sac is the female gametophyte. This is about the structure of the female megasporangium or the ovule. The structure of megasporangium ovule is a female gametophyte present in the ovary. It has following structural features like it has stalk called funicle. The funicle attaches to the ovule to the placenta. Hilum is the region where funicle attaches to the ovule. Raphe is the connective tissue present in the funicle. The integuments are the protective covers which encloses the inner components, and they are encircle the ovule incompletely to form an opening called micropyle. The micropylar, opposite to the micropylar region, is called chalaza. The nutrient tissue present around the embryo sac is called nucellus. It nourishes the embryo sac, and the embryo sac is the female gametophyte present inside the nucellus, composed of 7-celled, 8-nucleated, 3-celled antipodals, and 2 synergids, 1 X cell and 1 binucleated are central nucleus. With the structure of embryo sac, we will study in next video. Chalaza is the basal part of the ovule, opposite to the micropylar region. Egg apparatus consists of 3 cells which are present towards the micropylar region. And this is about this video. It consists of pistil, the structure of pistil, 2 types of pistils based on the number of carpel, if they are fused or not, and the structure of ovary, and the last one is structure of megasporangium.